Hi, everybody. Welcome to ACI 6. We will wait a couple minutes for my husband. I mean, we will not be really waiting for him. It appeared that the beginning of our class coincides with the registration to Big Shoulders swimming contest in Chicago. And it means swimmers they will swim a marathon. Swimmers they will swim a marathon 2.5 or 5 kilometers, and it is very popular. Like there is a limited number of places, and within 1 hour, like everything is sold out. So what Bill is doing now, he's subscribing us for the marathon, and he will be back in 5 or 10 minutes. So let's start with the motivation. And I was thinking we can do it just as a short meditation, and we will do it together with the main idea of the class. I think somebody was talking who was not supposed to talk. Okay, so just sit up straight and close your eyes and think the following, that right now I'm in my normal human body. I have my problems in my life, and think about your biggest issue you have right now. What you would like to really change to feel happy. Just one problem, the biggest one that you have. Everybody has one biggest problem. Think about other people. Do you know people that have same kind of problems? Or maybe even worse? Then think to yourself that it would be cool if I could stop both my problems and other people's problems. And if I will be able to do it with this knowledge that I will hear today, then this will be my pay for this class. This is my gratitude for these teachings. Then how can I reach a life that is happy and get rid of my problems? Like if I will do something that is considered to be normal, like, I don't know, will try to work more to get more money, or will go to the gym and be healthy, will it ultimately work? Does it always work? Fortunately, everything comes from my seeds and from nothing else. So I can change my behavior and my problems will go away. I will be able to reach direct perception of emptiness on this path and stop not only my problems, everybody else's problems. I will be able to become myself these 3 jewels. And just think how it can feel like, try to feel how it will feel when you will reach the state of nirvana, absence of mental afflictions. What do you feel if you are not capable of feeling anything negative? Your anger has been stopped forever. No seeds. You cannot get angry anymore. Your fear has been stopped forever. No fear. Your sadness has been stopped forever. Cannot get sad anymore. No irritation. You're not bored anymore. You even cannot stay neutral anymore. What is left if all the negative emotions are stopped forever? No guilt, no shame. No disgust. Slowly go back to your breathing. Welcome back to the class 6, one of my favorite classes. And it is the second class about Nirvana. And I would like, first of all, to say thank you to all the translators, all the technical team, organizers. Special thanks to Yulia Reshetnikova, Lena Smirnova, and many other people, Luda Podoroshka, etc. And special thank you to 2 angels present here, because we have 2 people offline here, Katya and Yulia. So, it always motivates even more when you have people on offline. And let's go to the class. So first, we need to discuss that there is a difference how they describe nirvana in lower and higher schools. And in both Lao and higher schools, there is a definition, or there is a phrase, name, nirvana with something left over, hlakche nyande, and nirvana without something left over, or with nothing left over. And this is called hlakme nyande. This division has deeper meaning, and you will probably need several years to get it. I will not give it to you, sorry, but there are things that we should cook in our mind. But I think it's already important to know that there is a deeper meaning of it. So in lower schools, they say, okay, you did your third pass. Remember, first was accumulation, second preparation, third seeing emptiness directly, and fourth is habituation, and after the fourth one, just no more learning. And we will talk more about this path, because several questions in this class are related to different parts of this 5 paths, of this 5 paths. So lower schools, they think, after I have seen emptiness directly, I become a person with lack che. It means that I still have my impure parts. What is the difference between a person with nirvana and the person is called arhat? And by the way, it's a very interesting word, because in Sanskrit, it's a kind of a play of words. Ari, hata, which is to kill your enemy destroyer. And another possible meaning of this word is the one who should be praised. So when they say arhat in Sanskrit, they mean both. Enemy destroyer, what did he destroy? He destroyed his mental afflictions, like all the negative emotions. Cannot feel anymore, cannot plant bad seeds anymore. And the second one is the one who has to be praised. And unfortunately, Geshe Michael always says when he talks about the subject that in Tibetan it was completely lost, because in Tibetan there is no possibility to find a word that will be at the same time enemy destroyer and a person who needs to be praised. So they have chosen just enemy destroyer, Drachompa in Tibetan. And there are many places that are translated from Sanskrit that do not make sense anymore in none of languages, because they use this play of words very often, enemy destroyer and the one to be praised. So you will know now, if you read something about Arhat that does not really make sense, maybe this is because of that. Okay, so person who reaches nirvana is called arhat, and they can be with something left over and without, with nothing left over. Something left over, he doesn't have his mental afflictions anymore, but he still has some impure parts. So, like, for example, what? Like, for example, this body. If I have a body like that, made of meat, flesh and blood, it has to die. This body cannot live forever, right? It has some period of time, it can be alive, and then it has to die. We know it, right? So And they say, once you don't have this body anymore, then you become hlakme nyande. You reach nirvana with nothing left over because you don't have this body anymore. The body is made of impure parts, right? So your mind is already pure, you reach nirvana, but your body still has impure parts. In the higher teachings, I mean, in the higher schools, not teachings, in the higher schools, they say that first you reach nirvana with nothing left over, and then you get to nirvana with something left over. First hlak me, and then hlak che. How so? They say during your experience of seeing emptiness directly, you have no access to your body, right? And even to your impure mind. So this is nirvana, hlak me. And then you go out of seeing emptiness directly, and then you go back to your body, and your mind comes back. So you have nirvana that is called hlak che. This is the difference. Nirvana can happen long before we reach Buddhahood. I mean, it takes some time after the 8th Bodhisattva level to get to final Buddhahood, because 8th Bodhisattva level happens during habituation phase. It's fourth stage of becoming an enlightened being, fourth out of 5 paths, and Buddhahood is the 5th one. And interesting enough, if you have completely smooth life, like you have no challenges, your family is doing great, I don't know, maybe you are born in a rich family, and you do not see any suffering, right? Then it is considered in these teachings to be an unfortunate life, because it is very similar to cows that are having nice meadows, you know, they have enough grass, you know, they are fed. Then they are put in a line, and they go one by one to a butcher house, and they are just killed. So the earlier you will notice that the line is kind of, maybe it's not a great place to be, the better your chances are to get out of this line and this suffering. I don't know if you have seen, especially, I didn't see it in the US, probably it also exists, but in Europe, you can see many times like this, especially Switzerland, you know, like, or French Alps, like this nice meadows, you know, like with green grass, flowers, you know, and this cows like from this chocolate Milky Way, right? And they are beyond the fence, and the fence has some electricity is running on this fence, and the cows, they are touching the fence, they feel this heat, electric, very small, like low level electric shock, but painful. And then they don't approach anymore. They know, okay, we will be here, and we should not go beyond this fence. The cow is a massive being, right? It's a huge animal. If even not several cows, just one would be enough to just, get the fence out of, I mean, it's just a little bit of electric shock, right? But because of this fear, they never do it. And it ends up, they end up at the butcher house, and people are kind of the same. There is a special word for people who did not see emptiness directly. Actually, there are two words for that. And one is children, and in Tibetan it's chiva, children. So in many texts you can see that children and bodhisattva and bodhisattvas. So like the next level, right? Or children and Aryas. Another word for human being who did not see emptiness directly is sosokyevo, like an ordinary being. It is translated like something ordinary. And the difference is we intellectually can understand how this reality works. We do not have direct experience. And this is why we tend to have more issues with our actions, what we choose, how we choose to act. So Chiva or Sosokievas. And why it is important? Because these Sosokievos, they are getting at some point their wake-up call. Somebody they love dies, or somebody is getting sick, or they are getting sick. They are getting into a bankruptcy, especially in the United States. It's a very popular subject. Something happens with their job. Maybe they are fired, or they don't get their promotions. They don't have enough money. They are running into debts. So something bad happens in their life. And this is wake-up call, makes them think, makes them ask questions for the first time. So this is why the life when you have to struggle is considered to be better than the life when you are just you just have fun, and then guess what, you die. You get finally it's your turn to go to the butcher house. And honestly, all these 18 ACI courses, they are for us to understand that we are in this line and to make a decision that you don't want to be in this line anymore. There will be some troubles. You will need to hit electricity. You will need to get the electricity fence hit. But it is much better than to go to a butcher house. And it means that death is not mandatory. It is optional. And this is the only reason why we need to study it, because otherwise it would be totally useless. The only reason it is useful, you actually can change something. And there were people who did it in our lineage. So, so first, people, they ask, they get this wake-up call and they ask, why me? And this is why me is a sign of entering this first way, preparation, or accumulation. And then somewhere at this stage, they may see that other people also have same issues, or they may not see it, and they may stay with their own issues. And it will define whether these people will get to Bodhisattva track or they will stay in lower tracks. And the result will be different, because if it's only why me, then the motivation is too low. And by the way, these first two tracks, they can, especially the first one, it can last hundreds of years. The preparation is shorter, and then you come to this last 5 minutes when something different happens, and then you have third pass that lasts like only about 20 minutes. You see emptiness directly in a deep, profound meditation. And then this is the point of non-return. So you will not be able to go back to be a Sosokievo anymore. You cannot be a Chipa, a child anymore. Then this is what defines the nirvana that does not stay. Nirvana does not stay means that you are not in, it's actually nirvana of a totally enlightened being. It's not a lower nirvana, and it does not stay neither in the suffering realm, in the cycle of pain, in samsara. And these people do not stay in lower nirvana. And lower nirvana is considered to be a bad thing in our teachings, because you just waste your time with the same actions if you just stretch a little bit your motivation, and you think not only about yourself, but you think, okay, other people, they have same issues, would be cool to kind of stop these issues altogether. So this is what is meant by nirvana that does not stay. This is for a person who achieved total enlightenment, unlike Hinayana track people. Stopped their mental afflictions forever, and also got omniscience. So another, you can say hello.
But we had to register for a swim meet, and there was a big long line, and I had a hard time getting through. But we got registered, so I apologize for that. Yeah, got registered.
Okay. It means on the 7th of September, I will have to swim 2.5 kilometers in cold Chicago waters.
Yeah, and the registration was at 10 a.m. and it was almost like I couldn't get through. It almost sold out in 30 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah. So
okay, so we are on the nirvana that does not stay. Basically, okay, I managed to do it.
Okay.
So something interesting that lower nirvana also is called the extreme of peace. But as I said, this is a bad word actually here, because you may have a little bit better motivation, and then you can reach total enlightenment instead of that. Do you want to do the next one?
My head is still in swimming registration.
Okay, that's okay, that's fine. So let's continue with the enemy destroyer, or as we said in Sanskrit, it has 2 meanings: enemy destroyer and the one who should be praised. So they completely stop their mental afflictions, right? And why it happens? Because they have seen emptiness directly earlier. So we talked about path of accumulation, path of preparation. Path of accumulation starts when you have the wake-up call and you say, why me, right? Path of preparation starts when Geshe Michael or ENG or somebody else teaches you basically the pen story, or to husbands in the kitchen, which is my favorite one. You understand basically the nature of reality. You understand that nothing should be as you see it, that nothing is basically itself on their own side. Everything is created by my seeds, and nothing else exists except what I created with my seeds. And then you practice. There are 8 bodhisattva levels if you follow the Mahayana track, and then you reach nirvana. It's level 8. And the enemy destroyer is one of the results of the Buddhist path. It's actually result number 4. There are 3 more very cool ones. First is the non-returning point, or it was called in ancient times stream enterer, because there were no conveyors, there were no anything that people could relate. Like in modern time, it's like conveyor, you will reach your final point anyway. Or like, I don't know, I was thinking about also trams. If you get on a tram, it's just definitely you will get to your point, because there is only this way, right? Or a subway, right? You get on, then you can think that, okay, probably I will get to the point. They had rivers, right? Streams, and they say, okay, that's a stream enterer. It means it's a person who just perceived emptiness directly, and it's not yet a non-returner. That's another result. We will talk about it later. So they definitely will be out of this cyclic life in, let's say, 8 to 16 lifetimes, more or less.
Sometimes 20, but yeah.
Then second result is once returner. It's a person who still needs to go back to one of desire realms and take a birth there to reach final Buddhahood, right? And in ACI 8, you will have a lot of information about different possibilities where you can get in desire and other realms. Basically, our reality is like a 3-layer cake. The lowest is desire realm. Then we have form realm, and then formless realm. What are the results? What can you bring to form realm, formless realms? Is it good? Is it bad? Basically, if you meditate a lot, honestly, to wrong things, then you will get to form or formless realms. And unfortunately, Bill told you already previously, there are whole schools of meditation that teach people to stay in this state of mind that will program you to go to this form and formless realms, which is not considered a good idea. I mean, it's a horrible idea, because the usual result of these realms, the staying there is even more expensive than here on this planet, where we are like, we are now playing in Las Vegas, our seats, they're just like tin, 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 like this, how you call slot machines, right? Bam! No money anymore on the bank account. Like the other realms, they even faster can put your bank account down, zero.
Drain your bank account.
Drain.
Yeah.
Drain your bank.
Yeah, drain your karmic bank account.
Yeah, because like, how does it look to be in formless form realm? Like, if you have ever seen any movies about gods, like what was the Iron Man, you know, or Wonder Woman, or I don't remember the name, but Viking gods, you know, like if you have seen these movies, this is how it looks like. You have a beautiful body, you have lots of powers. Sometimes you can manifest things out of air or something like that. You live long life, but then you drain all your karmic seeds bank account like this, and you go directly to hell realms. Unfortunately, before dying, you have some kind of how you call it, foretell.
Yeah, you know,
Foreseen.
they say that you know you're going to die, and you start smelling bad, and people, the other form realm beings, start avoiding you, and it's very upsetting because you realize you're going to lose the nice life that you had.
I think it's something like similar to what happens to some Hollywood actors, right? Who were very popular, and people would praise them, and then they are not popular anymore, and many of them, they suffer greatly because of that, because of lack of interest to them, and or like millionaires, billionaires losing all their money. I think they're going through more or less same crisis. Not that great, because I mean, they can see directly how they will suffer in this hell realm. Formless realm is kind of similar, just you don't have a body. You are just your mind, and staying there is also very pleasant. Basically, you stay in this state of kind of ecstasy. It's also a kind of meditation, but then you go to hell realms. Desire realms consist of several different options. Hell realms, hungry spirit or hungry ghost realms, animals, humans, and there is also there are worldly gods of desire realm, half pleasure being and pleasure beings. So don't confuse with form realms. God, there are gods in desire realms and there are gods in form and formless realms, pleasure beings.
I think one of the things that's interesting about all of this is that people have actually seen this, right? That this somebody has witnessed all of this and written it down. And like Ina said, there are people here in the United States, there are meditation groups where people are writing about form and formless realm experiences that they're having, and they're training other people to do it. And I mean, I encountered this group when I first came out of retreat. And at first I was like, wow, what's going on with these people? And then, because it's significant, right? Their lives are better than what a human life is, in the sense that they're enjoying their life more at the moment. And then I saw in the text the descriptions of the form and the formless realms, and clearly they were talking about the exact same experiences, which was pretty interesting, right? Because I don't know, so little of it has been translated into English. I don't know that these people who are reaching the form and formless realms are aware of the text. They certainly weren't aware that they were putting themselves into a trap. But again, it was just another piece of the puzzle, like another confirmation that this path is valid and people know what they're talking about. I thought it was pretty interesting, frankly. And did you discuss with people about, so an arhat is somebody who's eliminated their mental afflictions, but they're not omniscient, right?
Yeah.
Which is distinguishing full enlightenment from nirvana, right? So we talked about that last time, but people can get confused. With nirvana, you've had your mental afflictions, your anger and your jealousy are gone permanently, but you still have subtle obstacles to omniscience, and you can stay in nirvana for eons, peacefully, pleasantly, but you've still got to go back and get fully enlightened eventually. So that's there's a difference between them.
Okay, so what I didn't say that the stream enter is called in Tibetan Gyun Shukpa, and the once returner is called Chir Ongwa. And Chir is obviously once, and Ongwa like more. It's a word for future in Tibetan. Then the next one, as you can guess, Chir Mi Ongwa, the one who does not have to return, and it means that this is your last lifetime as a person in a desire realm, right? Yeah, this is it means you don't have to be back again and be in samsara anymore.
And also they say that if you practice Vajrayana and do it well, you can reach enlightenment in this lifetime.
Yeah, and you don't have to be back also in to form and formless realms also. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So we are talking about the path of seeing. The most important are 5 minutes before this path of seeing, where when you, for the first time, you see your seed really opening and creating your reality. And it does not mean that seeds didn't open before. It means that you can really follow, you can observe how it happens for the first time. And I really invite you to attend, if you will be able to attend the 7th level of DCI, where Geshe Michael is teaching how to see emptiness directly. And he is describing in details his own experience, because he has seen emptiness directly when he was 23 years old, something like that, I think.
Something like that.
He just started to study with Ken Rinpoche. And he was, from what I remember, he was studying Chien Chedrak, which is a subject of Buddhist logic. And it made him, it ripened his seeds ripened, and he had this direct perception of emptiness. And this is why his description of it is so detailed, and you can feel the heaviness of it, right? You can feel that he knows what he talks about. Basically, interesting that this 5 minutes, when before you go and sit in your meditation to see emptiness directly, when you can observe your seed opening, you are called the supreme form of a human. Does not last for long, but this is the highest evolution of a human being. The one who knows how the seeds ripen, right? But did not see emptiness directly yet. And once you see emptiness directly, then basically you're not a human anymore. You look like a human, but you become something else, higher, that is called Arya. let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, and the experience itself, seeing emptiness directly, lasts only 20 minutes, which is strange, right? You want to add anything?
No, we've talked about the direct perception of emptiness before.
Yeah.
And then, the 4 Arya truths that you go through afterwards, right?
Okay. Then the question is, how can I know if I'm not going to this form and formless realms? Basically, there are very specific meditations. I don't know if you ever heard about lion's dance meditation. This is where Geshe Michael is teaching specifically how to distinguish, because these levels of meditation, they are important. I mean, you need to reach some level to see emptiness directly. Also, you should meditate every day, he says. He said even 5 minutes every day is better than once a week, I don't know, like 1 hour or so. Obviously, because it plants seeds, right? And there is a specific meditation where you go 8 layers, 8 floors, let's say, of meditation up, and then the 9th floor is when you try to see emptiness directly, and then you go down. This meditation is taken from teaching of the Lord Maitreya. It is called Lion's Dance, and I think it will be cool if we can teach it together with ACI 3, maybe.
I've never done it. He was teaching it after I'd finished the courses. So.
Yeah, I did it, and it's my favorite one. And for open teachings, I think it's a very cool meditation.
Okay.
So we will talk with Bill. I will talk with Bill.
The Russian word construction, we.
Yeah, in English, they don't say we talk with, because we means the group of people.
Yeah.
I will talk to Bill and we will decide. But I think Lion's Dance meditation is actually really cool. And you can do it pretty short if you know what you do. And how people they get on this level, they get stuck at some of these 8 floors. Like they have different kind of feeling. Every floor you climb on this meditation, it takes like probably 15 minutes to go even quickly through these stages. Then you do something here, like you try to see about emptiness, to think about emptiness, and then you should gradually go down. And it takes like probably 40 minutes at the very least. So people are getting stuck. They think that, okay, this is where I should belong, or, oh, wow, this meditation level is very cool. Like, I think I could get stuck at the level that is completely nothing, like, so these are the traps that you can get into if you do not know really what should be the goal of your meditation. Trapped easily, because it feels good. These levels, they feel great. So this is important.
It's kind of interesting. They say that the peak of cyclical existence, the highest that you can get to in the formless realm, is a point where you don't have a body, there's nothing physical there anymore, and your mind is almost stopped. It's still going, but there's so subtle that it's almost stopped. So as opposed to the world we live in now, where more is better, right? If you're a human, right? Like I need a bigger house, I need more money, I need a car, I need a boat, I want to be president of this country. Well, I want my country to be bigger. It's right, like always more, right? Always more. But they're saying that the peak of cyclical existence is actually
Nothing.
your mind is almost stopped, right? And so it sure isn't what an American would think of first, right?
Mm. Yeah, and I think also maybe some of you didn't that do not know yet why our realm is called desire realm, because every single being here is motivated by desires, and basically, you know, the easy ones.
Well, for humans, it's food and sex.
Food
to
and
be frank.
sex.
Everybody's running around after food and
And
sex.
if you disagree that you have desires for food and sex, then you don't have to be in this desire realm anymore. So basically, it's kind of significant. How can you, I mean, are there any signs that a person achieved nirvana? You know, Bill was talking about Geshe Michael not being angry, not having any meltdowns, even like very bad situation would happen. I didn't see Geshe Michael ever being unhappy, and I also have seen like many things happening with his different organizations. Like everybody could be upset, you know, and never ever. And Geshe Michael, he developed a very cool tool. We probably need to take I don't know, short video out of it, called Two Husbands in the Kitchen. And this is a story about a lady who is working a lot. She comes home, she's yelling time to time to her kids, you know. Like, for example, she wanted them to be ready and go to the kindergarten or the school earlier because she would have a Zoom call with her, you know, like headquarter or something. So obviously kids were in their pajamas when she asked them to go to leave the house. And then she yelled at them. Then this is what samsara is. She yelled at her children. Somebody heard it, of course, her children, but also herself, right? Her mind. It made the impression on her mind. And the seed is growing. Then in 1 week or 2 weeks, or very often, she yells often, right? So it can be actually even 2 weeks. She comes back home, she's tired, she thinks, oh, my husband is home, probably he will hug me. She opens the door and her husband is, wow, you are stupid, you know, something like that. Oh, I didn't do anything. And from a human perspective, Sosokieva perspective, she didn't do anything, right? Because it was completely out of nothing. He just yelled at her.
So it's okay. Well, again, for the people who may not be familiar, somebody who has not had the direct perception of emptiness yet.
Ordinary humans. And he yelled at her, and then Geshe Michael says, there are two husbands in the kitchen at this time point. The one is, I didn't do anything. And the other one is, I yelled at my kids before husband. So one is non-existing, never existed, will never exist, is impossible for him to exist, is the one I didn't do anything. Because it would mean that this is the first self-existing thing in the universe. And we will talk more about my favorite class tomorrow, class 7, about gakchas, things that can never exist, but our mind is constantly thinking they exist.
A gaksha would be something that's self-existent, something that has a characteristic from its own side that everybody, everywhere, all the time would see the same thing in it, because it was in the object itself.
Yeah,
and that's the object that we deny. We don't think there is such a thing. Yeah, and you will hear more at the next class. Then what do we usually do, right? Somebody yells at us.
what do we do?
Well, the only logical thing to do is to yell back,
Yell
right?
back. Okay, Americans, they yell back.
Because they, well,
Guess
they,
what Ukrainians
they
do?
deserve it. What do they do?
Translators. Sorry, translators. They get excited. So what do they do actually? Ukrainians, they get offended and they think, I will revenge. Maybe not right now. I will not yell back. I'm not stupid. I will revenge. Whatever is your country, do you yell back right away or you yell back later? Doesn't matter. Because this is how it works. I yelled at my kids. My husband yelled at me. I yelled at my husband. Somebody else, my boss, will yell at me. Then more, even more. You know, there is no end of how big this anger can be. This anger can lead to a war if I have a lot of seeds of it. So
right, it's the same thing. Like people say, well, how is a little bit of anger going to lead to a war? And it's just like an acorn, right? Is about that big. You could hold it in the palm of your hand, and then an oak tree. How many? Somebody figured it out once that an oak tree is like 200 tons or whatever it was.
several tons.
20 tons or 20,000 pounds or whatever. It wouldn't be 200 tons, but it could be.
I think
20,000 pounds. Anyway, huge, right? Like probably millions of acorns could fit inside of an oak tree compared to the size. So things grow, right? You see it all over. So, I mean, humans start from a single cell, right?
Yeah. I just figured we completely forgot about our slides.
No, well, that's too bad because the people do
The
such a good job.
slides are beautiful. So, but we didn't do many questions, so I will just, yeah.
A little off today with me having to register the swim meets only. It starts at exactly at 10 o'clock and then.
Yeah, I got a little bit distracted, sorry.
And there's, yeah.
So, but I really want you to see the slides because I want you to have this impression of this powerful being, you know, like Nyande, Hlak, Che, an Arhat, but still with his body, right? And this is the image for and the text for nirvana that does not stay, which is nirvana of total enlightenment. And we have also discussed the question about enemy destroyers and 4 results of the path. So first is stream enter. Second is once returner, and the third is non-returner. So let's discuss now how you can get to nirvana. What are the main parts of the method? How do you achieve nirvana? You want to talk about this, Maro?
You keep going. I'm a little off today.
Okay. Yeah, Bill is still a little bit sick, even though much better today. Okay, so basically there is a method how you achieve nirvana, fortunately, right? And it has 3 steps. First, you train yourself in extraordinary wisdom. You become a master of teachings of emptiness. Many people, they ask, how do you become such a master? First, a lot of information you have already directly in ACI courses, especially you will have course 6, and the whole course is basically about emptiness and how to see emptiness directly. Then in several different courses, like in this course also, you will see proofs of emptiness. And I was thinking, like, really? So many proofs? Like, I don't know, 100 of them probably. Why should I study all these different proofs? Can't I be satisfied with one proof, you know? But actually, this is the issue, that we can't. Our mind needs more and more confirmation, you know, and the more we study these different proofs of emptiness, the better your mind is, how to say, it is more, it gets more and more comfortable with this idea of emptiness and how the reality works. So this is also a part of this extraordinary training of wisdom. And you can go to Shrine Centaur classes, because almost every single class there, translation of these ancient books done by Geshe Michael and 12 translators that he trains in Tibetan language and Sanskrit also. Every single class, there is a great idea that you can discover. So you can just, these classes are for free. You can join anytime. Monday evening America time, or Tuesday morning in Europe. We rebroadcast it for Europe. And Saturday morning for America, it's like 5 p.m. in Europe, something like that, or 4 p.m. now, probably. So every week, twice a week, somebody asked Geshe Michael what I can do to make sure I can reach direct perception of emptiness this lifetime. And he said, go to Shrine Centaur classes and don't ask it anymore. Just attend classes. And so this is my takeaway. I attend regularly these classes with my husband. And this is what I advise. So the second training is morality and meditative concentration. So this extraordinary training of wisdom should be together, should be imbued by other two. Morality, it means you know what ethics means, you studied it, and you keep it. And the reason why you keep it, because you know that everything that you do comes back. And not only you will suffer from your bad actions, but also the whole world will suffer, because they also come from your seeds. And
one of the things that you'll see as you try to meditate is that if you're not keeping your morality, you won't be able to meditate. You know, somebody who, I mean, at an extreme, right, you can imagine somebody who's constantly in conflict with other people because of unethical behavior. They're not going to be able to be still and focused when they sit down on the cushion. And then, I mean, just the exact opposite. If you're behaving ethically, your life will tend to be more peaceful, right? Like it will be easier to concentrate. And even if things are crazy going on around you, you'll still be able to sit down and calmly focus. So meditation and ethics go together.
Yeah.
And ethics are supported by emptiness, right? Because when you understand that things are empty, you understand that the reason why you're experiencing anything is because you did something to somebody else in the past. So then you're very careful about your own actions. So all three are related together, right? But mostly ethics and emptiness are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. So, and then what you do to reach nirvana, remember, we are talking about an Arya who has seen emptiness directly already. And they kind of implement these realizations of emptiness in their lives. I mean, this part about analyzing, right, in the definition, like based on individual analysis. So they become extremely familiar with these realizations, and they build their life according to them. And I was thinking, what would be in these two husbands in the kitchen when Nirvana would be there? What do you think?
What will the two husbands be with Nirvana?
What could a person in Nirvana do in this situation?
Oh, what would they do with the husband yelling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's actually a very famous example. The King of Kalinka. I love it quite a bit, frankly. But they could still be, because if they have some old negative karma remaining, right, it could still be unpleasant. But they sure wouldn't react with anger back at the husband.
And they cannot feel it as unpleasant because they only can have.
Well, if they had remainder, they could feel it, right? So an Arya would be somebody who's had the direct perception of emptiness, but they're not fully free of their mental afflictions yet. Mm-hmm. An Arhat is fully free of their mental afflictions, but they wouldn't respond with anger. They could still feel. They could still feel pain because they have the remainder, right? That they're not in. Because that was the King of Kalinka when the Buddha had the direct perception of emptiness, and he was out in a forest teaching a queen about emptiness, and the king rode up and saw them together, and he was jealous. He thought that the man, this was one of the prior births of the Buddha before he became the Buddha, and he thought that he was
cheating.
Yeah, cheating on his wife, cheating with his wife. And so the king got the fingers off of the reincarnation of the Buddha, the early incarnation of the Buddha. And at the time, they describe how he was in pain. He was suffering from it, but he didn't get angry at the king because he realized the only reason that he could be getting his fingers cut off is because he had hurt somebody else in the past. And so that's the story of the King of Kalinka. It's interesting, right? So he didn't want to. It still hurt, but he wasn't going to create any new negative karma.
Yeah. Okay. So he cannot get angry, unhappy, even frustrated with the fact that somebody cuts his fingers. And it's a very interesting subject. You will have a lot of time to think about it. But with the two husbands in the kitchen, what would be Nirvana there? Nirvana would be like, remember, she enters the room and he's like, you are stupid. And she's like, okay. Then she goes to her bathroom or whatever, looks in the mirror and says in the mirror, you are stupid. Then goes back to his husband and says, maybe I should cook a dinner. You probably had very busy work. You were probably busy at work. And then she thinks about the second husband who is self-existing. Okay, maybe I'm stupid, but you do not exist even. Something like that, I think. That's my idea about Nirvana in this situation. So that was it. There is one more thing I think is important about this class. You will have your small realizations. We have just made these 3 parts of the method for achieving Nirvana. And the last one is to get familiar with your realizations once you see emptiness directly. But it is very important to be happy about the small things that you have done already. Like, for example, and Geshe Michael calls it, by the way, breakthroughs about emptiness. Like when you can remember when you stopped your anger, you could get angry and you stopped it. This is your achievement. This is your breakthrough. Many people, they are not capable of doing it. So it's actually, you make progress. And it is great. It is a great idea to pay special attention to this progress that you actually made. Basically, in order to reach nirvana, you should meditate regularly, be nice to other people, really, be happy. Everybody has problems, believe me. If you will ask any person in this audience, like everybody has problems, and their problems may seem intolerable for you. You don't want to hear all the problems people may have, especially with the wars and what's going on right now. So don't over exaggerate your own issues. And when you feel unhappy, try to find somebody who feels worse, like whom you can help, who is in a worse situation than you are. I mean, take care of yourself, like do something good for you, and then go and plant good seeds, because this is the only way that you can help yourself, right? And think about this progress that you make. Okay, today it took me only 2 minutes to stop my anger, and not half an hour. And yesterday I was getting jealous, but I stopped myself because I remembered emptiness. It is actually very important.
As an interesting side note, talking about like having the direct perception of emptiness and Aryas with remainder, and so they've still got, you know, a human body, they could still feel pain. But when you reach enlightenment, total enlightenment, you don't have to repay all of, they say you don't have to repay all your old debts, like all of your seeds at that point. Geshe has described it as they freeze or they burn or they shift, frozen forever, burned forever. They'll never ripen when you achieve enlightenment. And you'll see there are other schools that will say that you have to burn out all the old karma. But then that never made sense to me, because you're creating new karma. Yeah. And so in our school, we're going to say that when you achieve enlightenment, you'd never have to repay all those old debts. That the seeds are like, you said they're still there, but they're just harmless, right? Like it's a bomb that'll never go off. So the difference between enlightenment and just simply having had the direct perception of emptiness and being an Arya, or an arhat, right, distinguished as somebody who's actually eliminated all of their mental afflictions and reached nirvana. So.
Okay, and something that I think is important also to mention, that some people, or even some schools, they say that nirvana means that your mind disappears, your body disappears. I mean, and then I mean, it's just stupid, right? I even forgot that there is such a strange worldview. Of course, you do not disappear when you reach nirvana. Your mental afflictions disappear, but your mind stream is permanent. Yeah, it will stay forever.
Can't stop your mind.
Yeah, your consciousness and your mind. Okay, so close your eyes. Think about Mhm. Think about the fact that you spent 1 hour, 15 minutes listening about these important points, important for a person who wants to achieve the higher goal, see emptiness directly, achieve the state of nirvana and Buddhahood. And think about the fact that you will be able to help somehow every living being when you will really reach it. And just this only thought will stop you from spending your karmic seeds, and instead you will create much more because you dedicated to help a lot of other beings. And think about the lineage of teachers who kept this knowledge safe for you. People with their, I don't know, millions of hours of meditation in our lineage, right? All of them, they were doing their best. They were living in difficult periods, historical periods, not contributing to spiritual path, and they kept it safe. And feel gratitude for them. And think about Geshe Michael, ACI, as an organization, all volunteers, translators, and feel gratitude to them in your hearts. Open your eyes. This is the end of class 6. Thank you, and see you tomorrow earlier than usually, because we want to make a break for Schwensen Tower class in between our classes. It's 7:30 Chicago time. I think it's 2:30 in the afternoon European time. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Пока-пока.